Hi, and welcome to another video of the Target Ninja program, Target Ninja Experience. I haven't spoken to my kids in a couple of days because, again, my insomnia. So, by the time they get home from school, I'm sleeping, right? Like I said, I have not. I woke up at 12 o'clock last night, and I've been up. It's minutes to 2 right now. So, anyhow, speaking to my kids, the police outside, with the sirens, and my daughter had mentioned something about going out tomorrow, and she was like, "We're going out with mommy and her friends." So I just said, I said, Who's which friend?" So she's like, "I don't know." I was like, "Oh, okay, whatever. It doesn't matter." So then you just ask these questions. It doesn't. But anyhow, they started with the police sirens, man. It was like, again, this narrative they want to portray, right? A false narrative, and again because of what it is that they're doing in the background, behind the scenes, to try to manipulate me emotionally, psychologically, and you know also manipulate her. But she, is for her, it's a benefit, right? That's what they want her to believe. But all that it is it's them, you know, doing things to try to emotionally and psychologically harm me. Okay, and I'm very wise to what it is that they're doing, and it doesn't work. Okay, I've never been that kind of individual, and again, but we see this within our community, you know, and it's that the result of white supremacists interfering in our affairs, whether it be uh, medically, psychologically, educationally, economically. White supremacy is always in the background, okay, manipulating the situations, particularly within us as black people and European people. But we tend not to, you know, uh, think that these people are capable of doing these things when the evidence have shown us that they certainly are, and much more. Okay, so this is nothing new that hasn't been done to others before. And so again, they try to make you, in particular when you hear, I was watching a video today and I heard this black woman, she's a divester, and she talks about the biggest threat to black women is black men. And I'm like, huh? She's talking about domestic abuse, and I'm like, huh? you know, like, do they not understand that men are in terms of domestic abuse, that men are the most abused? Okay, but they will hawk on the woman being abused because some of the men who do respond to what the woman does, because 70% of uh, domestic arguments or domestic fights starts with women. They're the one that started. Okay, but again, because the corporations, their plan, okay, has been to uh, create separation. Okay, because they need to sell products and things to women, right? So men, as men, when we buy, we don't buy a lot of stuff like women do. If we buy stuff, it's like, we buy electronics, we buy, computer, stuff like that. But you know, they sell women vacation, they sell them all this other things, right? To keep separated, because when you have a family, you're much more budget conscious, right? And so they need people to be independent. That way, they can spend more, and the corporations get wealthy. I understand that what they do is for money, basically profits. Okay, and they don't care whose life they destroyed in the process. So I was speaking to my son, and I said to him, I said, um, have you done any homework lately? It's been a week since he came back from school. He hasn't done any homework. Because he says, well, I just come home and I go to sleep. So I said to him, I said, are you going to bed on time? And I know he's lying to me. So he hasn't done any homework. He hasn't been going to school on time either. And his mother, and my daughter too, my daughter's late, both of them getting left back. My daughter already got left back once already. She's going to be great to get left back again. Right? But their mother is living it up. Okay? She got to have her fun. Meanwhile, our kids are failing in school. Right? And me as the other parent, I'm not supposed to say anything. Because whenever I talk to them about this, they start using the police in the background, the police sirens in the background, as a form of intimidation. And then she starts yelling, bye, like she was doing today. I want you to understand how, particularly within the black community, how our women have sold us out, how they have sold their children out, that they don't care about their children. They don't care about their children's education, their children's well-being. All they care about is themselves and what it is that they want. The creation of mental illness within the black community is one that is perpetrated by white supremacy and those within law enforcement and the security agencies, right, to destroy the to continue to destroy the black community, to continue to destroy black men and women and black children. But we have yet to deal with that reality. And this is something that we, as black men, we have to stand up, regardless of the cost. Right? Each of us have to make sacrifices to where the future of our children, particularly of our male children, will not fall prey, as we have, into the hands of these white supremacists and white supremacy. And there are the few black people out there who feel because, my life is great. Well, that's good for you. I'm happy for you. I truly am. But the vast majority of our people, life is not great. It's not even good. And until you understand, there's a reason why they allow some of you to attain what you have and to keep what you have. But it comes at a cost. It comes at you being silent to the injustice of black people, of your people. It comes at a cost of you being silent to racist individuals. And you want to pretend that because you live in a white community, that everything is okay. Like I said, I just watched a video about the woman. She's in divest. She talked about how when she was younger, how white men used to do all kind of stuff to her. Saw her standing at the bus stop. It was a puddle of water. They drove their car, splashed water on her. And this same black woman, and she refused to say white men or white supremacy. She refused to say that. She said white. She says racism. Again, the false narrative being put forth. And we continue to soak it up and believe. And particularly when they manipulate us using unseen technology to manipulate our minds, to cause this deep self-hatred, the abandonment of our children, and the majority of us cannot comprehend or understand why, because we are too conditioned, we are too brainwashed to even wake up to that reality. Well, that's it. But they'll be sitting outside there with their police sirens going off, you know. I mean, come on. Like I said, it is the removal of the continued removal of the masculine male black figure within the homes, to our kids being raised by women who don't really give a shit about them, but just have been conditioned into their own believing in, they have to seek their own happiness at the destruction of their children. And it's not even happy. It's just a momentary gratification, but there's no long-term happiness there. And we as black men, we can't be concerned, and we can't say what needs to be said, and we can't do what needs to do to protect our kids and our women. So that's my rant. I'll speak to you guys in the next video.